you know, the cactus. Y'all ever fell into a cactus? Y'all know what cactus? Y'all ever fell into a cactus? Or how about a yucca plant? Y'all ever fell into a yucca plant? We used to have one of those when I was a kid. We played football, and why that yucca plant was right where it was, and that's the only place we could play football. Instead, darn it, that's where that football would go just about every time. And if the yucca plant didn't get you, the yellow jacket nesting it did. I couldn't tell you how many times. I'd come out there swole up one way or the other. Man. Hard to kick against prickles. Whatever those things are. It's hard. And we'll never do it. And he, trembling and astonished, said, Lord, what wilt thou have me to do? This amazed me. He didn't argue. I'm going to dare say every one of us in here have argued with Jesus Christ. I know I have. And you have too. Now, I know every one of us in here right now are quiet. Am I missing something we brought out in their classes and some Tuesday night? Am I missing something we need to bring out?
He didn't ask questions either. He just, I would ask questions.
I agree with that.
He didn't question it or anything.
Yeah. He said, what will thou, he said, what will I have me to do?
Yeah, well, that's a question. But he wasn't like, are you really Jesus? Or,
Yeah. I mean, immediately he knew who it was. Immediately. And he said, what will you have me to do? He said, arise and go into the city, and it shall be told to thee what you must do. He told him, said, right then. He said, get up and go, and then I'll tell you what to do. And the men which journeyed with him stood speechless. They heard this, but they didn't see anything. Okay? They heard what was going on, but seeing no man. And Saul arose from the earth, and when his eyes were opened, he saw no man. But they led him by hand and brought him into Damascus. And he was there 3 days without sight, and neither did he eat or drink. He was astonished. He was bewildered. He was in a means of prayer, of thought. He was in deep thoughts with this. He knew God had something right now. He changed right then. Something happened. He knew God had something for him. And he got to thinking about all the things that had happened. God stopped him. Jesus Christ. He knew it was Jesus Christ. He didn't have to, because Jesus told him who it was. He told him. And then and during all this time, there was also a disciple in Damascus named Ananias. He said, the Lord in the vision said, Ananias. He said, I'm here, Lord. And he said, arise and go into the street, which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus. And behold, he prayed, and had seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in and putting his hand on him that he might receive his sight. And Ananias said, Lord, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he has done to many of the saints of Jerusalem. And here has authority from chief priests to bind all that call on his name. But the Lord said to him, go thy way, for his chosen vessel unto me, and bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel, for I will show him how great things must suffer for my name's sake. Ananias wanted to argue. Ananias was like, Lord, I've heard about this guy. Now, this ain't a good thing. Are you sure that this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Now, here we have Saul, who wasn't a Christian, did exactly what God told him to do. Ananias was already a disciple. And God told him what to do, and he was like, are you sure about this? Do you see what I'm saying? We call ourselves Christians, and the first thing we do when God asks us to do something is question what God tells us to do. Have you ever thought about that? We do. Isn't that amazing? I give thought to that sometimes. Because when we come unto Jesus Christ, when we first come, we think, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. And then as we come unto him, then we get to thinking like we know it all already. And we start trying to tell God what to do. We need to hush and listen and do what he says. He already knows. The more we study, the more we think we know, the more we think we're trying to help him. What God directs us, we need to do. And continue to do on a daily basis. And continue to be doers. And not to inform God how to do it. I'm serious. But Ananias does. I'm gonna go ahead and paraphrase from there just a little bit. But he went on, and he did. He put his hand on Ananias, and he prayed over Saul. And when he did, the scales fall off of Saul's eyes, and he begins to see. And as he did, he'd been weak because he hadn't eaten, he hadn't drank anything. And he gets up and he does eat. And when he does eat, he becomes strong. And the next thing Saul does, in verse 20, it says, and straightway he preached Christ in the synagogues that he is the Son of God. He talks about Jesus Christ. And straightway he preached Christ in the synagogues that he is the Son of God. But all that heard him were amazed and said, is this not he that destroyed them that called on the name of Jerusalem and came hither for intent that he might bring them bound unto the chief priest? But Saul increased the more in strength and confounded the Jews which dwelt in Damascus, proving that this is the very Christ. And after there many days were fulfilled, the Jews took counsel to kill him. I love this. I love this. Because what he did, he was the very one that was killing the Christians. He was imprisoning Christians. He hated the Christians. And all the religious leaders loved him for this. They were the ones that wanted him to take care of things. You know what? Isn't that what people do? They want somebody to get rid of all, but they don't want to do the dirty work. They want somebody to do the dirty work for them. And all of a sudden, he's not doing the dirty work anymore. He is the one that's out here doing the stuff that they don't want to do, but now they want to get rid of him. They want to get rid of him really bad, but he's telling the truth. So they get rid of it. The fact is, he changed. And they don't want to see the change. They don't want to believe the change. People want to see the old you. How about that? People don't want to believe the change in you when you become a Christian. They want to see, don't you? Isn't that what Satan wants out of you? And they're going to do it from now on. I ran into somebody yesterday I hadn't seen in, oh gosh, I can't remember. Of course, I can't remember yesterday. Hardly, but anyway, was reminded of, and I told y'all this not too long ago too, but I saw somebody I hadn't seen since high school. And this has been a while back, and I was telling them about this story that this guy I'd run into and told him I had become a preacher. He came and he said, "You become a preacher?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I don't believe anybody become a preacher besides you." I'm like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." I'm like, and he got away with me. Now, this other person couldn't believe that. And they said, "Well, I've never really seen that side of you." I'm like, "I'm thankful for that. Thank you for, at least you." But he got away with me. Because the other guy it was like he was just adamant. Well, let's go back to this other stuff. Well, I'm like, well, it's not. Are you with me? Mm-hmm. People don't want to see the change. What about you? In your life, there's a change. Mm-hmm. If you're a Christian today, people don't want to see the Christ in you. Right. Right? Exactly. Your family don't want to see the change in you. Amen. You're going to say, "Well, I disagree with that." Well, wait till you get in an argument. That's right. Okay? Wait till you get in an argument. Wait till something comes up, then they're going to provoke. See, I told you. Something's going to happen, and then they're going to bring out the bad. See, you're not acting like a Christian now. We all have our faults. Right? We're not perfect. Well, some might be. Yeah.
All have fallen short.
Thank you. We have. Even Paul saw Paul fall short. He's not perfect. But man, he ran a heck of a race. He runs a heck of a race. But he still falls short. But he did. He come out of the gate. He come out of the gate like one of the wildest bulls I've ever seen. I love it. He come out of that gate bucking like nobody's business. And I love it. This is what we're called to do. We're called to be what we're supposed to be. But most of us, when we come out of that gate as a Christian, come out of there mild and tender. Well, I don't know. I don't know. What has God called you to do? What are you being called to do today? Where are you in your life with Jesus Christ? Every one of us have something different. Every one of us have a different experience when God changed your heart. Every one of us. I don't know how God changed you. I don't know what experience He had with you. I don't know when God called you. I don't know what happened. That's your experience. I had mine. I had so many things happen with me in my life, so many different things. You may have had just one. You may have had many. You may have many more. God ain't done with you. I can promise you. I know God is not done with you because you're still here. That's right. Amen. He's still got things for you. He's still got something for you to do. He's still got someone for you to see, someone for you to speak to, something for you. I think about Esther, the book of Esther, where Mordecai told Esther, this may be your very moment. This may be why you're here right now. For this very moment. And when I read that, I thought, Surely that's not just your only moment, but it could be.